Today we're gonna talk about the topic WhatsApp new privacy policy and compare WhatsApp, Telegram and Signal. So the best way to start about this is to first look about the WhatsApp new privacy policy. What does this say? So let's proceed. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp privacy policy page. You can visit the link whatsapp.com/legal/updates/privacy policy to look at the latest privacy policy. That's what WhatsApp is using. So this is updated on January 4th. So this is the latest policy. So what is the best way to understand what exactly is the policy is to visit this official page. So if you visit the official page, you would get a full idea what exactly WhatsApp is collecting and what not. So information we collect. Let's see what all information is WhatsApp collecting. Your account information. Okay, so first of all, WhatsApp is trying to collect our account information. That is basically our first name and our basic information, including our group name, our first name, all those kind of details, your profile picture, any personal information that you have, it would collect it. Good. Okay, that is quite basic. I think every app would do that. Messages. Okay, now this is also trying to collect your messages, but there's a catch over here. It doesn't capture all your messages as WhatsApp is using end-to-end encryption. That is the Signal protocol. So what exactly is WhatsApp capturing? What kind of messages is it storing from in its servers? It is storing undelivered messages. Suppose now if you're sending a message to somebody and that person is not online, so it would store that message, it would keep it in the server for 30 days, and uh, it would encrypt it, as it says here. It would encrypt the message in the server for 30 days until and unless the person does not open it or read it. Till the time it does not get opened, it would be stored there, and after 30 days, if the person still doesn't open it, it's deleted. So they don't store it, they say that only storing it if the person is offline. Okay, and it stores your data if you're doing the media forwarding. So it is temporarily stored in WhatsApp if you're forwarding a media to somebody. Just I think they keep it for efficient delivery mechanism. Okay, what else is WhatsApp exactly doing? Of course, your connections. So your contact book, whole of the contact book is being shared with WhatsApp. So all of your contacts, like suppose if you have 300 contacts in your phones, all of the 300 contacts are going to be shared with WhatsApp. That's quite obvious. Status information. Now WhatsApp is again storing your status information, whatever you write your status as, hi there, I'm on WhatsApp, or whatever you're busy, it keeps all of that information with itself. Okay, transactions and payments data. Now what exactly is transactions and payments data? Now if you have observed, WhatsApp has recently come up with a feature called as WhatsApp Pay. So in WhatsApp Pay, you can, just like Paytm and other payment apps, you can pay using WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is basically gonna store your transaction and your payment history. So whatever you're going to pay to your friends with WhatsApp Pay, like if you're paying amount of 50 rupees, that 50 rupees amount is going to be stored in the history. So it's with WhatsApp. Whatever you transaction amount you do, whatever payment information you do, whoever you pay, how much amount of payment you make, what time, everything is going to be stored with WhatsApp, but only the WhatsApp Pay data. So you don't need to get worried if you're using another apps like Paytm or Google Pay. No, that data is not going to be shared with WhatsApp. Only if you use WhatsApp Pay, your WhatsApp Pay data would be shared, would be stored with WhatsApp. Another catch is, in the privacy policy, we are coming to know that even some of the data is going to be used by Facebook for, like, it's going to be advertised. So what WhatsApp is plans in future, or it is keeping a plan right now, it has shelved the plan because of so many people revolting against WhatsApp privacy policy. But the actual plan was that using this kind of data, like suppose if your payment history, like let me consider I'm a really rich person, okay, I'm paying amounts like 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh on my WhatsApp Pay to my friends. So if I'm giving such a huge amount, it would understand that I'm a rich person. So the kind of ads when I open my Facebook, I'll get ads like maybe they try tell me to purchase a Audi or a Mercedes, and if I'm paying a small amount like 30 40 rupees to my friends, or maybe 300 400 rupees, so it would show some minimal amount of ads like which are low budget, right? So it would show me like cheap cars like maybe Nano or something like that. So it is basically understanding your behavior, it is understanding what kind of transactions you're making, and it would use those kind of data analytics. It would do the data analytics, it would analyze what kind of data you're transferring, and based on that it would give you advertisements. So it's basically going to look at the level where you stand. If you're a if you're a good user, like if you're paying a huge amount with these kind of payment apps, so that means you're rich, so it would show you the rich category ads. Whereas if you're paying small amounts, like just for tea and also, it would show you small ads, small commercials, low budget stuff, just according to you. So that is the kind of data. Okay, let's move forward and let's see what is customer support and other communications. Okay, like suppose whatever you're communicating with the customer support, like suppose if you're having some kind of problem, okay, you're having some kind of issues, so it would store that, of course, for performance and feedback. It is storing that kind of data. Let's see what data is automatically collected information, usage and log information. Okay, now whatever the time, how much ever time you're using WhatsApp, like suppose I'm using 3 hours a day of WhatsApp, so that is going to be stored with WhatsApp. My duration, my frequency of how many times I open the WhatsApp app, like suppose in a day I open it 30 times, so that is also going to be stored, that I opened the app like 30 times in 24 hours, so that is also going to be stored. So it is mentioned here, if you look, time, your frequency, your duration of activities, log files, diagnostics, crash. Okay, if your WhatsApp app crashed up, that is also going to be stored. Your website, your performance logs and reports. So all of this kind of information is going to be automatically collected. You cannot stop it. Device and connection information. Okay, so now this is obviously your operating system, your hardware model, okay, your whichever company your phone belongs to, that is also going to be stored. Your app version, your browser information, your mobile network, IP address, device operations, identifiers. Okay, now like I will give you an example like how WhatsApp can use this to generate some revenue or give you some ads. Like suppose I'm using an Android phone, a cheap budget Android phone. Let us consider an example of like maybe Oppo or Vivo. Okay, maybe that's 7,000 8,000 rupees phone. So if it sees that I am using such kind of a phone like Vivo, it could show me that same segment phones about 7,000 8,000 rupees, maximum 10,000 rupees. But if it sees that I'm using an Apple, so it could give me ads of like expensive phones like Apple, or like higher class like OnePlus and all that stuff. So it's going to give you uh, ads according to your uh, whatever data it's getting, right? It's getting data. You're using Android, so it will give you cheap budget phones. If you're using Apple, it would give you high end phones on the advertisements. So that is the kind of mannerism what WhatsApp and Facebook is adapting. Obviously now WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, so it is trying to bring in the interoperability between these three apps, the Instagram, Facebook and WhatsApp. So it's trying to integrate all of these three apps and trying to make an experience so that it can generate a greater revenue, a huge profit. So this is the basic objective what WhatsApp has done with this new update. Okay, so your location information also. Now again, if you're talking about location, yeah, this is not going to track your exact location, not the precise location you share with your friend, because obviously this is an end-to-end encryption, so your exact information would not be captured. I'm sharing my location to my friend, that couldn't be captured, but the coordinates, like an approximate location, like suppose if I'm traveling from Delhi to maybe Goa, so once I reach Goa, like WhatsApp would automatically know that my location is like somewhere in Goa. So what it would try to do to with this update is like if I reach Goa, it would like to uh, generate some ads for me, right? So it could understand, it would tell Facebook, oh my god, this guy is in Goa, so show him some hotels in Goa, maybe some 5-star hotels. So when I open my Facebook, I'll see ads like, oh my god, 5-star hotels in Goa. Relevant ad. How is it so relevant? Of course, WhatsApp, man. So this is the thing, this is how it's trying to bring in these changes slowly. So this is the thing. Even your cookies are being stored. Okay, this is not. Uh, okay, information others provide about you. Okay, this is your other information like maybe your phone number, your name, and all that stuff. It's all going to be stored. Your user reports. Okay, if suppose somebody is trying to report, you can report another user on WhatsApp, right? So it could connect that information like how many people you have reported or how many people have reported against you. So that kind of information is also again being captured. And also businesses on WhatsApp. Now, what's businesses on WhatsApp? Like there's a normal personal WhatsApp account, and then there's a business on WhatsApp account. So if you're trying to like you have a business on WhatsApp, yeah, your data can be used uh, for generating some kind of revenue as third party apps. Businesses try to use data analytic apps to reap rewards, reap greater profits. So they would try to understand your behavior and try to show you relevant ads related to whatever businesses you're interacting with. So you need to be careful over here, because you can see ads related to whatever you contact with on business WhatsApp accounts. So that's the reason why you've been wondering, oh my god, yesterday I was talking about something like purchasing maybe a guitar or something, and today I just saw an ad. Like that literally happened to me. I was talking to my friend on WhatsApp on his business account, and like I didn't realize that, and then all of a sudden the next day I opened my Facebook, I see ads related to guitar. I said, oh my god, there's nothing safe. There's nothing safe at all. So you can see ads like this. I think you have already experienced this thing before. Like all of my viewers who are viewing this video, they must have experienced this some point of time in their lives, that when they open Facebook, they must have seen ads what they had talked about, or like what they had talked about to their friends on messages or something. This is like been going around. But with WhatsApp, yeah, you would notice it. I had tried it myself and I had noticed it. So that's the thing. Okay. Third party services and all. Okay, now I think it's time to jump towards the slides, right? Let's jump towards the slides. Okay, so I have already explained you the WhatsApp new privacy policy in a lot of detail with all the parameters from the official WhatsApp website itself. So that is the most credible resource and on the internet. If you want to refer it, you can go again to that URL. You can read about it. You can comment down on the comment section and tell me if you want any of the videos related to it, or if you want some other details related to it. I would love to make some new videos on this topic. So now let's go forward. Moving forward, let's talk about WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. Okay, so which app should you use on your Android phone? Well, what I'm trying to cover here is the WhatsApp privacy policy. I've already explained this in detail, so I wouldn't, elaborate it more. I would explain the data collection aspect of the three apps. Data collection of WhatsApp has already been explained, but I would repeat it for in a short, span of time. The features comparison, what you should do, the feature plans of WhatsApp, whatever the future things WhatsApp would plan in its updates, or like a brief idea, and my final verdict for you on which app you should use. Okay, so data collection aspect of WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal. Okay, so WhatsApp, WhatsApp is an app that is being like, it's a default app. Once you buy an Android phone, you will get WhatsApp in it. So obviously the popularity of this app is really high as compared to Telegram and Signal. Telegram is also a very popular app. If in India, if I'm talking about, it's a popular app. I've heard of it before. But Signal, I just came to know about this app like maybe 10 to 15 days ago. So I tried this. I have all the three apps on my phone. It's not that I don't have any app or like one of these apps out of this phone. I have all the three apps. So WhatsApp is of course very user friendly, because I have been using it for a longer time compared to Telegram and Signal. Telegram, on the other hand, is a good app. It's a really good app. I would explain some features of Telegram and Signal in the consecutive slides. Okay. So what all details is WhatsApp storing, capturing with itself? What all details is Telegram capturing with itself? What all details is Signal capturing? Okay, so WhatsApp is, I told you, it's capturing some kind of identifiers, your contact information. So in identifiers, you're basically your device ID, your user ID. In contact information, they're capturing your phone number, your email address. Okay, they're capturing your contacts, all of your contacts in your phone, your advertising data. Okay, again, if you're using a business account in WhatsApp, or if you're trying to interact with the business account on WhatsApp, so yeah, that kind of data is being captured. Purchase history and yeah, payment information if you're using WhatsApp Pay, so this could be captured by them. Your location, not exactly the same coordinates, but this would be captured again. So it could give them a brief geographical location of where you're situated. User content, again, it's not all of the data that's being captured, but yeah, I can tell you one thing, that of course your messages are end to end encrypted, so that wouldn't be read by WhatsApp. But WhatsApp again knows like when you have contacted to a certain person, and like how much time you have contacted him to, like suppose I'm talking to a person X. Okay, so if I'm talking to him, what exactly time, what was the time when I talked to him, that is also being captured. And how many hours, or like how many times a day do I talk to that person, that is also being captured. So yeah, that kind of data is being captured, but not your messages, not your, you know, uh, messages that you're texting. It can't be read by WhatsApp. Of course, it's end-to-end encryption, and that also WhatsApp is using the Signal protocol. That's highly safe. Even Signal is using Signal's protocol, and WhatsApp is also using the same protocol. So they're end-to-end encrypted. There's no chance of reading the messages. But yeah, your data, like your brief idea, can be captured about whom you're talking to, your frequency of talk. Diagnostics, okay, again, so it's capturing the crash data, your performance data, what kind of mobile you're using, what's your operator, what's your company vendor of the phone, is it iPhone, is it Android, whatever it is. Okay, it's capturing all that data just for the advertising campaign. Telegram, on the other hand, I have this app also. It is also capturing minimal data. You can use this app also. I would like suggest you, if you don't want to go with Signal, if you think it's a new app, you can go with Telegram. But there's one thing, there's one catch in Telegram which I'd be explaining in the next slide, that people don't know. That kind of catch is really important when you're concerned about the privacy. So that kind of feature is going to be explained in the next slide. Just wait and watch the whole video. Okay, so in Telegram, your user ID, your phone number, name, and contacts are being captured. Okay, that's okay. That's not a lot of information as compared to WhatsApp. Oh my god. Okay, and in Signal, nothing is being captured. Just your phone number which you're registering with and your name. That's it. That's it. That's what Signal is capturing. So this is again, of course, if you're considering your privacy, I would rate Signal as the best. No doubt, no second like opinions. Signal is the best. If you're concerned about privacy, I would recommend you. Not only me, like if you have been up to date on platforms, even Elon Musk has said that Signal is the app you should use if you're concerned about privacy. So Elon Musk, he's a big guy. He wouldn't make such statements that are out of the world. Okay, so of course he has thought something logically about it, and he has told it. So again, even Edward Snowden has recommended Signal. Now you can understand Edward Snowden. If it's coming from Edward Snowden's mouth, you can understand how true it is. Okay, so yeah, I would also recommend Signal. Of course, after such a deep analysis and comparison, Signal is the best compared in privacy, followed by Telegram, and lastly WhatsApp. It's popular. If you want to use it for popularity, go ahead, use it, no problem. Just don't talk sensitive stuff there. Okay, you can talk normal stuff, there's not an issue. But if you're like, suppose you're working in some company and you have some critical information being shared, don't use WhatsApp for it. I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, let's move forward. What data is being collected by WhatsApp? We have already covered all this information in the section where I showed you the website of WhatsApp and its privacy agreement policy. So let's skip this. Okay, now these are the basic features, like the normal features. I would explain why. Oh, how are these three apps different actually? So as if you're talking about features, let us compare the end-to-end encryption. Yes, WhatsApp is coming with end-to-end encryption. It has the Signal protocol. It is following the Signal encryption itself. So it is highly safe. It does not decrypt your messages in between. Like there's nothing like WhatsApp can read your messages which you're sending to another person. No, it cannot do that. It cannot decrypt it. It doesn't have that kind of possibility. So your messages are being secured by the Signal protocol. Nothing to worry about. If you're talking about Telegram, okay, this is the catch which I was talking about for long. If you're wondering that Telegram is encrypting your messages by default, no, it is not. I have used Telegram, and if you're normally chatting to a person on Telegram, it would not encrypt your messages. Provided if you want to encrypt it, you got to use the secret chat options. So in secret chat, it is using the MT proto. That's again protocol by Signal, and that is a closed source protocol. So in Signal and in WhatsApp, the both of them are using the Signal protocol. So this is an open source protocol. You can go ahead and check it. It is publicly available. But in case of Telegram, it is a secret protocol. Again, it is not. It is a closed source protocol. It is not being exposed to the public. You cannot read the code. So we don't know if it's really secure. Telegram claims it is secure, but we don't know the reality unless we see it with our own eyes, right? So again, I would say it's best if you can go with Signal compared if you're comparing this feature. In group chats, again, if you ask me the winner, if you're having a huge group and you're looking for group chats and you want a huge amount of people on group chats, then the clear winner would be Telegram because it supports up to 2 lakh people. That's a lot as compared to WhatsApp, just 256 people, and in Signal also you have about a decent strength of 1000 people. But if you're concerned about the group chats aspect, I would recommend uh, Telegram for that. For video calls, yeah, all of the three of them have video calls. About Telegram, yeah, in some places the video call option is not enabled, so you won't get the video calls and the voice calls in some areas in the world. Okay, otherwise on Signal and WhatsApp you would get it. Group voice calls, again, you can. It has only 8 people limit. Over here it has thousands of people, and over here only max 5 people. So again, Telegram winner for that. Group video calls, yeah, look, in some areas, like sometimes I get the video call options, so I'm not sure about whether it is about some area that is it's available in, like in some geographical locations. I think this is available now. Otherwise, in WhatsApp, you all know you can video call. Even in Signal you can do the same. User ID, okay, this is just using your phone number, and your username here, and your phone number only here. If you're talking about the storage and the backup, yeah, WhatsApp is by default, like it is storing your data to Google or Apple servers, and like if you go in the WhatsApp settings, you can automatically see that there's an option set like within every week you want to back up your data is being backed up. So even if you lose your phone or even something, you can back up your data sometime. In Telegram, messages are being stored on Telegram servers, and Telegram has a keys to decrypt them. Okay, so there's some kind of decryption mechanism that Telegram has that. But in Signal, you can, like, there's no automatic storage as WhatsApp. If you want to like store messages, you got to manually back it up. Okay, so that is the difference between all of the three. Again, I would recommend, if you're looking for popularity, if you're looking for a lot of features, and you're looking for easiness and a lot of people on the app, you can go with WhatsApp. But provided you do not talk confidential stuff there, just normal chat with your friends, hi, hello, what's up, what's not up, okay, whatever is there, you can just talk with them. That's not an issue. But if you're concerned with the privacy and sensitivity of the data, I would recommend Signal or Telegram, depending on your choice. Of course, Signal is better than Telegram again, but Telegram is also a decent option if you want to go with it. So this is my comparison of the three apps. These three apps were, like, I compared them in detail. I wanted to give you an in detail analysis of all the three apps, where they stand, what exactly are their features, and what is the transparency of the three apps, like are they really legit what they're claiming. So I have done an in detailed video for this, and this was like one of the topics I was thinking for long to cover in the videos. So finally I got the time, I got the day to make it out for you guys. So please do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and stay updated to my channel for more kind of updates. Have a good day.